Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am gonna try to recommend you books that will get you out of a reading slump. So I was trying to not just recommend my favorite books, because those cannot be always helpful because they'd be quite big and complicated. These are just simple, fast-paced reads that will get you into the story at once. It will be so engaging that you can't stop reading, and therefore your reading slump is cured, and then you can go on to the more complicated shit. Hopefully one of these books will intrigue you enough to want to pick it up and then beat that slump, you know? Hopefully. The first one I have here, I think, is one of the best ones because it's so addicting and engaging that you cannot help wanting to read it. So that is, of course, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one follows Avery, who inherits a lot of money, like billions of dollars or whatever, and she doesn't know why. So she inherited this for one of the richest people in America, but she had never met him and she doesn't know him. But she needs to live in the house of the dude that died for 1 year to be able to get the money, where also his grandsons live, which is 4 of them. They're all quite hot, and it's kind of like a reverse harem vibe in the story. We also, have this mystery for why she inherited money. We are following like these clues and things that happen in the house, as well as clues Tobias, I think the dude died, is called, left behind for her to find, and also for his grandsons to find. And we are just sitting there the whole way like, why? And I just couldn't stop reading. I was so engaged. It was so entertaining and fun. Obviously, not every book is for everyone, and I can definitely see people not liking this, of course, like with every book. But it's just a way that, while it wasn't, the most mind-blowing, amazing book in the whole world, it was so engaging and fun that I couldn't help giving it 5 stars. And I just can't help recommending it to people, because it's just a book you pitch, then you are intrigued automatically of how you describe it. So I feel like if you read this, it will get you out of that slump, definitely. Then we have another contemporary, which is just really fast-paced and kind of beautiful and sad at the same time. And you like those books that make you feel all those emotions to keep you reading. And that is Instruction for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. This story follows Evie, who gets this ability to see people's futures when they kiss, so she can see how that couple will end up. And this is kind of to make her believe in love, but also it makes her lose the belief in love, because she has already lost it after her parents got divorced. But it's like she sees them kiss, and she sees how they will end up, if they will make it or not. And it's very rarely she sees anyone ever making it. And it's very much a question of like, is it worth to be with someone if you know how it would end up, if you know you won't make it? What is love? How is that? Is it worth those experiences if you know you're going to be heartbroken in the end? And it's all those things. And I'm getting goosebumps because I think it was very beautiful thought of love and relationships and life in general. Author want to tell this really sad story, but also really hopeful story about love. And I feel like, as readers, we want all those crushing emotions, because then you want to keep reading to get them again, which is like, addiction. And I think this books definitely serve that, and that's why you should read it. And it's also very short. You don't want those intimidating reads, it's less than 300 pages and it's not complicated at all, but it's very beautiful, so I do recommend it. Then we have another one, which might seem a bit random, but that is The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. And this one is told from the perspective of a cat, so that you get a bit of a different story. It is obviously translated from Japanese, but it's very much an easy, engaging book. It's easy to get into, but basically, Nana, who is the cat, they go on a road trip with their owner. We don't know why they're going on this road trip, but we meet lots of different people around that the owner knew. And it just strings your heartstrings out. I was gonna say, it's just a very beautiful story, and it's just very cute, being told from the perspective of this cat. I feel like the story became unique in that way. It's not like the Inheritance Games where you're reading the pages to get to know the answer to this mystery. This is all like a story about, life, the beautifulness of it, and just getting to know people, getting to know these characters and how they interact with each other. But it's the kind of book that will want you to read because it's like kind of beautiful, and it will be like, oh my god, life, and you will want to read more to learn more new people. And also it's very short, so that helps, it's like 240 pages maybe, so that will be, keeping you reading this very cute book. So you should read it. Now, I felt like we needed a little graphic novel in here because that would definitely get you out of the reading slump because it goes so fast. And I know this is like been recommended left and right in the whole world, so like you probably have heard about it already, but that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. And I feel like this was everyone's favorite on the all of BookTube a few years ago, but I feel like people don't mention that much anymore because it's quite a few years old now, so I thought I was gonna mention it in this video. I read it quite late compared to everyone else, but I loved it so much. It's so good. So it follows Nimona, who has like these shape-shifting abilities, and she wants to be the sidekick to this, I was gonna say, super villain, and they are basically just wreaking havoc in this kingdom. There's this knight, this chosen one hero that fights against them. So fun, so adorable. I kind of want to reread it now when talking about it, but obviously this will keep you reading because it's a graphic novel. It's very short. I feel like people who don't read graphic novels can read this and just enjoy the story so much, and just, you know, get into graphic novels through this as well. But also, you know, when you can read a book in like 1 hour, you will feel very achieved and be like, oh my god, you want to read more, you know? It's just such a cute and good story, and I feel like the author managed to, I was gonna say, round the story up so well. I was very impressed to be like, storytelling abilities, I could never, you know what I mean? And so very game, that's all I got to say about that. Now, we had some kind of contemporaries and etc, and obviously Nimona was a fantasy, but then we have more fantasy because I know people want to avoid fantasy when reading slumps because they want to, you know, read contemporary, they don't need to settle into a new world, and I totally get that, but I'm still gonna recommend some like magicalness ones because I feel like these are so good or so engaging that it doesn't matter that they're fantasy, you know? Okay, we're actually gonna start with a book that feels more like a contemporary than anything else. It's actually a sci-fi, but that is Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds, and this one is a very sad story as well, but very good one. So we follow Jack, who meets this girl that he basically falls in love with at once, called Kate, but she is very sick, so she dies like very imminently after they meet. But then he gets the ability to travel back in time, and he travels back in time many times trying to save Kate. So it is that kind of story, and you will want to read it. For first of all, it reads like a contemporary, so you don't need to like think about the sci-fi parts of it in a way. It's a beautiful love story, and it goes very fast. It's like, oh my god, look at this. Look at the spacing in this book. You don't even need a day. You just need an hour, no joking. But yeah, so I read it, and it's so engaging because you cheer for them so much. You see all these different kind of, I wouldn't say realities, but different opportunities in, you know, when you travel back, like different, what's it called? Weird situations is what I want to say. And it all goes kind of nuts in a way as well. Just a very engaging book. You should read it. You would just be into this loop, because I just read the word time loop so much that you cannot stop reading. Then we have An Umber and Ashes by Saboteur here, which is one of my favorite books. I can, you know, help to have it here. But also, I read this in like less than a day, and it's just so engaging that you would love it. And also, it's not like a complicated fantasy. It's just a fantasy where you absolutely need to know what happens. So in that way it's good. So we are set in this place called the Empire, where the scholars are enslaved. We follow Laya, whose grandparents get killed, her brother sent to prison, and she needs to spy on the commandant, the leader for the Empire's army, to get the resistance to help her free her brother from prison. And then we follow Elias, who is one of the elite soldiers in the Empire, and he doesn't want to be. So he wants to escape, but like, you know, if you try to escape and get caught, you will, I assume, get hanged or beheaded, but like you will get killed. You will get that. That was what I was trying to say. And these two characters interact, and it's just this very engaging story. We have prophecies. We have I was going to say a magical competition, but not a magical. We have a competition that I didn't know it had when I was going to read it. It's so fun because the challenges in the competition are just amazing to read about. The characters are amazing, and then you just want to read the whole time. And it's not like a complicated one at all, but it's a very fast-paced one where you're just getting so settled into the world and these characters. So if you want to read, like, you know, a fantasy, you don't want to read a contemporary, if you want to read a fantasy, you feel like in a reading slump, I feel like this would keep you on your toes. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what to do. And then we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which I assume most people have heard about because it's so popular. But this one is a very engaging book, so you would want to read it. This one follows Jude, whose mother and father was killed when she was a child. This is because her mother had a romance fling with one of the fairies from fairyland before. And then she escaped him, but then he found and killed her and her father, and needs to bring all of the kids back to fairyland because he needs to take care of them now. And then she is raised in fairyland where basically everyone and everything wants to kill her because she's human, and Jude is just such a harsh character, having forced to be and become like this to survive in this cruel world where everything literally wants to kill her. And it's just political intrigue, and just, it's not a complicated world at all. It's just fairyland. People things want to kill you. There is like a royal family. They are kind of mean, and it's just a very intense hate inside Jude that you follow, and it's just very intense, very engaging. It's the first one has been my favorite since I read it, and it's just like twists and turns, the bloodiness of the story, which literally left me gasping. And you know, it has a really fun enemies to lovers romance as well, which is like one of the few books where I feel like they actually did this well. And it's just a very cool book. So I feel like because the world is not as complicated, the writing is very accessible, and just how engaging and, you know, gritty the story is, it's definitely one where you can read this and get out of the reading slump if you want that fantasy, you know? Truly, because it's so engaging. Yay. And then for the last one I have here, it is more of a middle grade, which I think also can help you know, out of the reading slump, because middle grades are, you know, simpler, cuter books. And that is The Dragon with the Chocolate Heart by Stephanie Bergens. And this one is a very cute middle grade where we have a dragon who loves chocolate. She eats it and then she turns into a human and needs to deal with this. So we have amazing characters in this, just very cute atmosphere, like knights, dragons, princesses, you know what I mean. And I feel like more people really should read it because it's a very fun one and a cute one, and it's full of chocolate, which, like, what else do you want in your life? And I kind of want to actually reread this, and the second one to read the third one, which I haven't read yet. You will want to have chocolate beside you, and you know, since it's middle grade, but also just cute and adorable with all the things I just said, I'm not going to repeat myself one more time, you will definitely just have such a closer time that you will forget your reading slump, definitely. I just wanted to have one of recommendations for people who also read middle grade, so this one is definitely very cute and I really loved it, so you should read it. So that is some books to get you out of reading slump, different genres, different options. Hope that could be helpful because I really feel like these will get me out of a reading slump, but you know, everyone is different. Don't come and being like, I read all of these and they all put me in a slump. And I would be like, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a chocolate emoji down below if you enjoyed this, and you will see me soon. Bye!